Hello and welcome to the results of the cymbal taste test. Sort of like the Pepsi challenge of the late 70s, which they should still do with stuff. All kinds of products. Anyway, here we are, okay? And I want to apologize that video was only coming out of the left speaker. I looked down at my frickin' mixer board and I had the channel 1, the U47, panned hard left. So I am really sorry. That kind of incompetence drives me crazy. Alright, so. Oh, hang on. Hopefully this is working. Shit. Alright, hi there. Can you hear me? Okay, so here's the plan. What? No plan? So number 1 was a 18-inch sound formula. They call this the... I think I can talk a little softer because the microphone isn't 7 feet away from me. It's right here. Okay. This is a sound formula Frankenstein logo. They call it Frankenstein because the logo looks like Frankenstein. Kind of. You know, sort of that sort of ish. But anyway, so the neat thing about these sound formulas, well, they're B15 alloy. They are B15 alloy. I got this baby on eBay, and it's a hand cymbal, more or less the equivalent of, you could say, like a, you know, like an Avedis Zildjian, like well, a French in this case. Okay, so they have flatter profiles, which I always love in cymbals. Of course, Zildjian a couple of years ago went back to the flatter profile after a 30-year hiatus from it. At least 30 year, maybe 40. So yeah, B15 sound formula, hand, okay? 18-inch universal A, type 1, okay? Now type 1 I think means that it's the slightly lighter version. They did have a type 2, which I think is slightly heavier. And then universal A, there's A and B. A and B, they're different weights, so the A is a different weight from the B, if my memory serves. So I got this guy on eBay. Okay, I got this on eBay, and I want to say it was like $75. And it's the best $75 I ever spent. All right, ready? Here comes a Krishy Crashy on number 1. What the hell? Okay, ready? With little drums. All right, jumping Jimmy. Now, 2 things. 1, believe it or not, I did not sync my bass drum in the crash. Hit it 2 different times. Okay, there we go. And 2, yeah, the clinkety clank. Okay, so that's great. So ready? We'll try it again. Okay, and in all fairness, I should have done this without the bass drum. Now that has a lot of sustain. You see how flat the profile is on that guy? And that big bell yet very low profile of it. Okay, it's very much, look at that. Cloud, we're waiting for Cloud 2 to walk out with this large robot and start blasting, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? All right, so the B15, that was number 1. Okay, a lot of folks got that right. Number 2 is an unusual Avedis Zildjian, because it has an ink stamping. I got this from one of the crazy dudes over at the drum forum. The inking is, I've never quite seen this exact inking system. Okay? It's bizarro. Anyway, so this is an 18-inch, I would call it a mid-late 70s medium-thin crash, because that's what it says. Now look at that. You know, the old Zildjian specs, they went to this. Well, this one isn't actually even as bowl-shaped. This might even be earlier 70s. As bowl-shaped as they later became, for volume's sake. But anyway, so this is a nice one. It's sort of a classic, I consider it a garden variety, good-sounding Avedis Zildjian. So that's number 2. A B20, B15, B20. Why is that rattling on there? Gosh darn you. And then 3. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. Ouch. Getting pulled by my thingy thing. Alrighty. This, number 3, is a B8 alloy. This is a Paiste PST7. A beautiful cymbal, the thin crash model. I very much consider it to be, it's obviously 2002 sounding. You see the 2002 lathing on here. Of course, it does not have the 2002 shape. To me, it's almost, in a weird way, when I first heard this, it was almost like if you had a really good sounding Avedis Zildjian 18, okay, from like the 70s, and then made it B8. No, not B8 in the sense that Zildjian and Cymbal do B8 now, because they don't kind of give a shit about B8. They sort of, you know, you can actually stamp B8 alloy out and not do that much to it, and it'll still sound decent. Okay, that's what they do, because it's their bread and butter in the lower end. Even though they used to shite all over Paiste for using B8. Anyway, so this guy here, okay, it's a thin crash PST7. Eric Paiste told me personally that one day he had a vision like, oh, and he decided to make the PST7s. Great move, because as we're now starting to see in cymbals, a lot of competition in pricing now. Istanbul has the Exist. I don't know what the hell Zildjian has, although their A's were never priced all that much. But Sabian has they had the XS20, but they changed it to something else, and now Paiste has the. Now Paiste doesn't offer a cheaper B20, which I think is probably smart of them in the sense that, you know, all the, like Sabian and Zildjian they should be worried, I think, in a sense, because all the companies, the Asian companies and everybody coming in with all the cheaper, much better sounding stuff is B20 alloy. So I think the fact that Zildjian and Sabian never really paid that much attention, either out of contempt or just whatever, they didn't, you know, their business plan or whatever. Zildjian and Sabian do not know B8. Paiste does. Again, Eric Paiste, like I told you. Well, yeah, I did. I'd trademark it if I had the cash, but I don't. Paiste knows B8. T-shirts, stickers, marketing campaigns. God, Paiste and these cymbal companies, they could do the Pepsi challenge right in those little videos before videos on YouTube. Just a suggestion. Okay. Sorry, let me play this guy. So ready? Nice. So here's the thing. That to me is very much, as I started to say a minute, 2 3/4 minutes ago, how in a certain way, before I went on the Zildjian tangent, the PST7 is sort of a B8 sounding, sort of good sounding 70s B20 alloy cymbal. If that makes any sense. So and in a certain way, it's shaped more like them. Obviously not exactly, but see the bigger bell, right? Similar profile to this earlier mid 70s Avedis. But it has the sonic qualities, obviously, of a B20. Because it's B8, as 2002s are. Okay, but it doesn't have, apart from the lathing, you know, the hammering's different in the shape. It's like if Paiste offered a short crash in their 2002 series. That's what I hear, at least in the. Well, also too, they also have a medium crash and a heavy crash. I prefer the sound of this one because it's a little cleaner. In fact, if you go to the Paiste site at this moment in a parallel window, either a parallel window or a parallel tab, and you put in the sound room right now at this moment, the Paiste PST7 thin crash, 18-inch. Okay, these are all 18 inches, I said. And then also put in a Paiste 2002 18-inch thin crash. And you'll hear the difference. You'll hear the slightly more, I hate to use the word complex, but it is. It's complex, but not like in a B20 dark way, but just in more in the sonic palette of the right? But you hear this more sustained in the 2002 thin crash. But by the way, man, I'm telling you, if you go through and throw all kinds of the Paiste 18-inch, at least in B8 alloy, 18-inch crashes up in the room. Get the Rude, get the 18-inch Giant Beat, thin and multi. I think you'll find, I personally find the 18-inch thin crash 2002 is my favorite, and this PST7 18-inch thin crash is my second. So if you want to try that, you can. Paiste's sound room is, the sound files are very good. I'm trying to talk softer because I'm afraid I'm going to blast you guys' ears into oblivion with this microphone thing in front of my face. Okay, so let's do that again. So remember, it was 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what seems to happen there? Huh, you kind of get the la da da. Get ready. Ah. By the way, tell me this snare drum doesn't sound totally bottom. Oh! Oh! You know why? Because this is a Ludwig Blue Prophonic. They had this made for me back in 1977. I was a small kid, and Leon Gnipknop threw it out the window for me. He made it. This is when they were thinking about the prototype for the Black Galaxy. Nah, just kidding. But this is a Supra that had obviously pitted to heck in a handbag, and somebody decided to give it a blue, what looks like to be like a Blue Galaxy paint job, which is terrific, because to me it just deadens the sound just a wee bit. That's why I love the Black Galaxy, well, the black lights, because I think they just have just the tone. But this blue light, this Blue Prophonic, listen to that, baby. Oh! More videos on the way. But I'm going to do more of these cymbal comparison videos because I think it's really neat. Not just for the brands. I mean, you can hear sort of the difference. But alloys, weights, things like that. Just my opinions on cymbals. Because I know there's a lot of people I know that are like, Bonzoleum videos. What could this guy know about cymbals? Believe it or not, I actually know a lot about cymbals. In fact, the great Bill Hartrick, who shed so much light on Zildjian history, and then now the torch has been passed to various people like this fella Zenstat, who I don't, unfortunately, sorry dude, I don't know your first name. I actually sold Bill a few of his first really nice Avedis Zildjians back in the day. Wafer thin, what turned out to be transition stamp 22s I had that I salvaged from the great cymbal holocaust of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think he bought those from me in 95. Anyway, Bill, nice guy. If you saw, I don't even know if he's still out there doing the cymbal scene. But this fella Zenstat has a lot of stuff on Avedis Zildjian history online, so you can check that out. But anyway, more videos on the way. Okay, remember, I'm going to the studio very soon. I got a lot of tunes I'm going to crank out. And thanks for watching. Did I say there were more videos on the way?